Looks like Retro Pack 2's doing some interesting things. Make sure you guys smash the little crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more. It's got another day in another world of pre-sales out here. Discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. And it looks like crowns are completely wiped back out off of the market. So this has been the cycle that we have been monitoring here. You know, we'll see crown rotate in. We'll see crown, you know, just disappear. I mean, they're $80 a piece. I mean, they're like $130 on TCG Player. This is a whole nother level of ball game. I also do see that Betrayal has also moved up along with Carmel in terms of best selling here. I've already heard a couple people had some successful runs out of Sneak Peek with Exosister out of the weekend. When I actually do get that data, we will take a look at that, see how things are going. Also, Stormbane Dragon's been moving up because evidently this is a decent tech choice. Also looks like Tri-Brigade Spriggan's Kit also wiped out for the short time being. Yeah, this all makes sense. And then, of course, same thing, discount code MCO40 save you on your purchase. You can come over here and you can buy crowns. Kongs has you if you want Forbidden Crowns. They've also got Ripper M's. They pretty much got everything that you could possibly want here, which actually is not too bad. The Carmel is actually page 2 for best-selling for them. First Penguin moving on along, and Mercurium also moving along. I'm very curious to see if somebody is going to be able to break Mercurium, because that card just seems so very, very strong. All right, what else has been going on? So there's a couple of little things that I want to talk about today. One of them being anti-magic arrows here. At the start of the battle phase for the rest of this turn after card results, neither player can activate spell and traps or their effects, and neither player can activate spell or traps in response to this card's activation. This whole card's gimmick is to make sure that everything beyond the start of the battle phase is going to do nothing. You know, you want to make sure that, you know, you're going to be able to get that, the pass, as we would say, so that you can actually play the game and do whatever that you initially need to do. So, he's actually been bulking up pretty hard, $14, $15, $16 a piece. Now do we have sales data to back it up? Well, you've got a little bit here. Moving on along. I mean, you've got nothing, looks like $11 is your biggest sale here, doing its thing. So I guess be aware that this card is being talked about as a tech choice. I have seen no application with this yet, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. All right, Retro Pack 2. So this was an interesting one. Keep in mind that this is specifically the reprint version of this. I love the plastic ripped on this. So this one's interesting. So Retro Pack 2 is in a category of, you know, they were available in major retails like Walmart. You go out and buy them. I think they recently had a cheaper discount available. I think they were like $12 for the bundles. And I mean, they do have the reprint stamp on them. The Blue Eye Shining Dragon from here is still $35. The Harpy's Pet Dragon's $22. The Green Baboon actually just got completely eradicated off of the market. These went up to $20 a piece. Now, I mean, Green Baboon does have an errata on him, which, I mean, in TCG older formats, he's never really came up all that much. Because, you know, we really didn't get to experience him in the way that the OCG did, because he was a complete monster in their side of the game. But interesting. Also looks like, yeah, there's the 4-pack bundles. These were on sale, I think, for like 13 or 12 at Walmart. You could have bought them for, but it looks like 22 is lowest. Dragon Master Knights coming in. I mean, I see 17 for LP. Interesting that they're listing these as LP. Yeah, Near Mint's coming in at about $17, which I don't think is necessarily too bad. Ring of Destruction bringing up the rear here at 9. Looks like Gore's coming in at 14, which is not bad. Lighting Darkness Dragon. Secret Rare Lads for RPO2 on the reprints are a whole whopping $12. I've actually not seen any of these in person. Archfiend of Guilford's coming in at 9s. Wow. That's hilarious. Victory Dragons are also 9s. So instead, Valkyrion the Magna Warriors are 10s. Individual packs, I mean, what, $7? Sure, I guess. Thousand Eyes Restrict was one that we were watching in the very beginning stages of this set's life, because, I mean, this is a card that you have not had, it didn't get the qualification of reprints that we initially expected it to. So, I mean, 4 to 5s. Death Scythe Harvesters, oh boy, these are a whole $4 for secret rares. Rare morphing jars are surprisingly worth $4 out of this set, which I guess I'm not surprised when you think about it, right? Jinzo Ultra Rares are 3s. Infinite cards are coming in at dollars. It's crazy a rare is worth $1. Gamma the Magnet Warrior $1.50s. And Injection Fairy Lily Ultra Rares coming in at like 3s. Okay. Yamada Dragons, $1.25s. Necro Valleys at sub-dollars. Revival Jams at dollars. I guess to be fair, to try to pull certain rares out of this set, considering what we're dealing with now, because I mean, like, they upped the pull rate on holos, right? That was the whole gimmick of the set. They were like, hey, come buy this product so that you can actually, try to pull some stuff. But I don't necessarily think it worked. Rare Royal Decrees are 50 cents. Yeah, a lot of this stuff, on the bare minimum is like 70 cents to $1. You've got decent amounts of penny stonks in here. I mean, should you go out and pick up the set? I mean, probably realistically not. Still, even like $12 for 4 packs is not a terrible pickup. It's a level of situation that it's like, well, if I do want to pick these up and add them to collection, I mean, there's not really losing out too much on things. And I mean, you can still buy the reprint booster boxes. All right, Soul Exchanges. Oh boy, dual terminal preview cards, man. DDP is a rare creature in this game now. You are not getting this set anymore. $500 on Soul Exchange. I mean, do they have sales data? No. And I would actually hope that these would not have such a ridiculous number. But the problem with these is they were available for like a 6-month period in the game's history, and that was the only way that you could get them. So times are kind of crazy. Fiend Mega Cyber First Edition. Wow, this card takes me back, man. This is all the way back from Pharaoh's Servant. So if your opponent has 2 or more monsters, we could summon this card without offering any tributes. God, I love that level of flavor. But this ended up being a 2200 that you could basically summon if your opponent had 2 monsters on the field, which you could then use to kind of control the things that the opponent was doing. It's not a terrible way to go about things. The Cosmo Queen. This is actually crazy. A near mint Cosmo Queen from the old McDonald's pack is actually worth $90. Now, I mean, you could never get these in first edition. That was just not how this actually worked. Now, I mean, you did have other forms of Cosmo Queen that you could get. The Legendary Collection Yugi's World ones were $9, and it looks like we also had the Super Starter Deck V for Victory was the last time we saw the Cosmo Queen reprint, and near mints on those are coming in over $1. So it's interesting to see that, like, this card does not have a lot of printings available to it. And I mean, to be fair, it is one of the oldest cards that has floated around. Celtic Guardian. Wow, first ed. You know what's crazy about this? We actually had a sale at the $200 mark actually a couple of days ago, which is honestly kind of impressive, honestly. But people are afraid to look at first ed LOB cards, and I don't know why. Doop. Oh, boy. We just looked at this the other day, but $30, $40 for these. You still had some sales, 23s, 30s, and I mean, they're still moving along. Interesting. Knight of the Red Lotus. Holy crap, man. What, if you have exactly 3 normals in your graveyard? Remember, 2 from play, special summon this card in the hand. And then what? You can special summon a level 4 lower normal monster from your graveyard. It sucks that it has to be exactly 3 normals. You cannot go over it. You cannot have under it. You have to have exactly 3. While this card does check the marks to be a cool card, my God, man. Definitely a pile of trash. Taking off these near mints and whatnot, you can get light plays for a whole $3. Now, obviously, you're dealing with Stardust Overdrive. Anytime you see older quantities and things like this moving around the system, yeah, they're probably going to be worth something. So I guess TLDR today, Retro Pack 2 is an interesting place for the game. Kongs is revving up the top cut for their tournament. We'll see how that's going. So please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here and dig it. patrons. Thank you. Ah!
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.